sales, and I'm on my feet for 11 hours a day on hard tile.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it makes for a pretty excruciating day. You know, I'm married, I've got children, and we're active as possible, but I want to be able to run more. I have my children from 22 years old down to 6 years old, and he wants to play baseball and football and basketball, and it's hard to run for the ball, and it makes me feel like I'm too young not to be able to run for the ball. Getting up, it takes me a while to get rolling. It's just getting out of bed, standing up. It's just, you know, I have to start to get going a little bit, you know, get ready. You know, once I get my shoes on and stuff and I'm rolling, I'm okay. Get to work, and I have probably a good 45 minutes, and then it sets in.
The pain.
It's done.
And if you gauge the pain from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, on your bad day when you're on your feet and it starts hurting bad, where is the pain?
I can honestly tell you that every day is a 10.
Is that
I pray every night that I can have a 7 or an 8 just to get through the day. You know, I try switching shoes. I wear the so-called special shoes I buy from different places, but nothing's working. Nothing's working.
Good. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Ralph. We're going to try to help you out.
You first start with the gait analysis and assist the patient in his gait pattern. You can see the patient is wearing the shoes that he came in with. The chief complaint is the left foot. The right foot is already pretty much totally collapsed, which we'll see when he walks barefooted. The left one being pretty swollen, and that's going through the collapse phase in between 2 and 3. And you can also illustrate, see if he comes in, and we'll do this slow motion here. You can see that his left foot actually doesn't pick up as well as the right foot. Again, it's probably weaker. There's a lot of swelling and inflammation. Again, that's his chief complaint on that left foot. You can see the total collapse of the right. When we illustrate and demonstrate the casting, we're going to use the right one, because the right one is a bit more flexible. The left one is still going through that collapse phase, and it's a little swollen and less flexible. He almost drags that left foot going through the hallux, almost drags the ground because of the pickup. He does pick it up, but he uses his knee more to pick that foot up. He turns around. He's got good balance overall. Along with your visual gait analysis, you want to grab the foot and palpate it, and you can see in this condition it is flexible. But in the supine position, if you would cast it, it's very easy to overcorrect and lock the subtalar joint in this plantar flex position. The patient will not be able to tolerate this much correction. That's why it's important to cast an AFO in a semi-weight bearing position. So if you do it that way, you will not be able to overcorrect, and we're going to illustrate that and demonstrate that actually in this casting. And even here, it illustrates how that subtalar is locked and the patient isn't able to dorsiflex. And when the patient tries to dorsiflex there, you can see where he has to abduct. In positioning for a semi-weight bearing, you position the patient, have him relax, don't have him lean over watching what you're doing, position the footboard, get all those elements correct before you put the plaster or the SDS or whatever you're going to cast with. And what you do here, again, it's flexible. So I'm taking my right hand, it's the right foot I'm casting, I'm taking the right hand behind the calcaneus, and I'm just leveraging it and shoving that calcaneus right underneath the talus. And with my other hand, I am plantar flexing that first. You can see it right there.
The casting procedure for the STS molding sock begins by applying a plastic bag over the patient's foot and lower leg. The package is then opened and the sock is removed. The sock is unrolled about 3 inches and then dipped into lukewarm water with the excess water being squeezed out. The sock is then begun to be unrolled over the patient's foot. A cutoff tube is then applied that will facilitate removing the cast once it's dried. The sock is then unrolled on up the leg, with care being taken not to surpass the end of the plastic bag that has been put over the patient's leg. A hole is cut in the distal end at the end of the cutoff tube, which will later provide a channel for the scissors to remove the cast. The cast is then marked using an indelible ink pencil. All markings are made to delineate bony prominences, potential problem areas, and also areas where you want material to be removed for more control. Now the lateral malleolus is being marked, and the foot's being checked out for other areas such as the base of the fifth, etc. Lines are drawn perpendicular to the cutoff strip, so once the cast is removed, it can be aligned properly before fabrication. The leg is then placed back on the footboard and held into the corrected position desirable. It only takes a few minutes for the cast to set up. Then it can be removed simply by using the casting scissors. The cutoff tube is removed, and the cast is removed off the leg. And as you can see, there's no material that ever touches the patient's leg due to the plastic bag. The bag is removed then, and we check to see if the cast is at a proper angle once it's on the footboard, making sure that all the alignment is just exactly how we desire it to be before the brace is to be fabricated. Next, we're going to show how to cast using fiberglass casting tape. In this situation, a sock is applied to the patient's leg, and the indelible ink pencil is then used to do all the markings directly onto the sock. These markings will transfer over to the inside of the cast. Once again, a cutoff strip is used using a rubber hose, and the fiberglass casting tape is dipped in the water just for a few seconds and then unrolled and wrapped around the patient's limb. It's desirable to have about 2 thicknesses of the fiberglass from the top to the bottom of the cast for proper strength. Once the tape has been applied, all of it is smoothed out by wetting the gloves and massaging the leg. The leg is then placed back onto the footboard, and the correction is applied to the patient's heel, forefoot area to attain the desired positioning of the limb. The leg is then continued to be held until the material dries. It only takes a few moments for this. Care is taken to make sure you're maintaining proper knee and ankle alignment while the cast sets up. You can inspect the foot to make sure you've got your forefoot alignment as so desired. Lines are then drawn on the cast perpendicular to the cutoff tube so the cast can be lined back up. When using fiberglass casting tape, a cast saw is needed to remove the material. It's cut all the way down, the tube is then removed. Scissors are then used to cut off the cotton stockinette. The cast is opened up, the patient's limb is removed from there. The stockinette can be taken out, just discarded. You can see how the indelible ink pencils or the bony landmarks are transferred over to the inside of the cast. And there we can see the cast is at the proper alignment.
In the fitting of the brace, all you have to do is make sure that it fits well. The back of the calcaneus is into the brace correctly. Lace her up and put the shoe on. And here we're putting on the same shoe that's broken down, and that's what you want to do because you want the patient to get used to the AFO. And Ralph has never had AFOs. This is the first time he's ever put on AFOs. They're bilateral, so there's a lot going on here that he has to get used to. But what's amazing is the first time he's walked with the braces, he does very well. The pickup is amazing here. You can see both toes are picking up great because of the solid ankle. But he's able to turn around and have balance. You can see here in a little bit he's going to be turning around. And the balance is great. He continues his walk, and everything looks really good. And look at that left foot in the corrected position of that medial side of that left foot that's collapsed totally without the brace. Now we put on a good orthopedic shoe with greater support. And Ralph tries this, and you can see where he gets a little imbalance because of the support. There's quite a bit more medial support in these shoes. But he quickly responds to it and does well. See his gait's getting better. He's walking faster. He's more comfortable and more balanced. It does very well. Usually a patient won't do this well with bilaterals the first time. Here he is walking. You can see his shoulders are straight. He's getting through his gait good. Again, a little bit imbalanced with this new shoe, but he picks it up well and he does well. And you'll see him talking after about a week or so, or a couple weeks actually, with the new braces. In the last few weeks, how has it been? How do you feel?
Just wonderful. Best I've felt in probably most of my life.
Good. Has your family seen any difference, Ralph, in the way you come home and how your feet look?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, before coming home, I'd take my shoes off and I'd show my wife and my daughter the swelling I had on this side was huge, and on the left side.
You couldn't even see your ankle bone.
Couldn't see anything. And so after wearing these for a while, I'd come home, take off my shoes and my braces, and I'd sit there, and then my wife and my daughter both commented that I actually have ankles. It was just amazing. Good. The swelling, the inflammation, the bruising that was there going through the veins is just about dissipated. So it's been fantastic.
Great. Now at the end of the day, after your shift, 10, 11 hours in the day, your pain factor from? Less
than 2-1 in all honesty. As far as the braces are concerned, I don't have any of the pain I was feeling since before I started using them.
Good. Great, then it's been a success.
Very successful.
Gauge the pain from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst.
Every day is a 10.
Well, what is it now at the end of the day?
Less than 2-1 in all honesty.